Hey everyone, welcome back to Foodie Gourmets. We're hitting the holiday season now, so for Thanksgiving you've heard of pecan pie, but we're going to do walnut pie. All right, we are set to get started here on our walnut pie, not pecan pie, walnut pie. But the first thing we have to do is we have to toast our walnuts. But you're gonna go, but Chef Will, we put these in the oven. We're gonna cook them anyway. But once it's in with all the other ingredients, it's not gonna toast. They're not gonna get that little bit of smokiness to them. So we always wanna toast these first. They taste pretty good now, but just a little bit of time in the oven, 275. We're gonna use our little toaster oven back here. They're gonna be good. So what I've got here, stop. We have got about 3.75 ounces. Oh, ounces, William, Chef Will, what are you doing? All right, $5, $10 online. Get yourself a little kitchen scale. They're dime a dozen practically. Any serious like commercial recipes you're gonna look at, which this is actually a commercial recipe from a bake shop, you're gonna wanna scale everything by weight. So that's what we did here. $5, $10, good investment, get one. All right, we have 3.75 ounces of walnuts. We actually have some pretty good walnuts here. These are walnut halves. You can use pieces because you know what, we're gonna chop these up and break them anyway, but we got some pretty good ones here. So I'm just gonna, with my knife here, not gonna get too violent because I don't want these flying around the kitchen. So let's take a look here. Because what we want is, remember, we're gonna make a pie. It's gonna get this mapley kind of custardy thing in there. You don't want these big honking pieces of walnut in there. So again, if you wanna use walnut pieces, they're actually gonna be more economical. The halves are more expensive. But this is what we happen to have in the pantry. And a couple more here. Looks pretty good. And let's make sure they're good. All right, so I've just got a little sheet pan here, a little mini sheet pan because we're gonna use our toaster oven. If you wanna put this on parchment or on foil, that's fine too. Some people don't like cooking right on the pan, but we're not gonna go very long on these. We're just gonna get a little toast on them, so I'm not too worried about it. Am I gonna throw it in like this? No. Spread them out a little bit, get some air around it. We're gonna run these about 10 minutes, again, 275 degrees. If you're fortunate enough that you have a little convection toaster oven, you could drop it down to 250. Remember, the rule is convection, conventional oven, 25 degrees difference. We're just gonna do this on a regular conventional oven, so we're gonna do 275. Get these nice. Put these in here. In there, we're gonna check those in 10 minutes. We'll be right back. Hey, we have pulled our walnuts that we've toasted. We've actually pulled these out, let them cool a little bit. Well, how do I know when my walnuts are ready to go? Well, when you just start to smell that nuttiness, well, the nuttiness, because they're nuts, when you just start to smell it a little bit, that's when you pull them. If they go too long, nuts will go from perfect to burnt in about 30 seconds. So once you start to smell them, because the pan's still hot, you pull them out, just let them sit for a little bit, 10, 15 minutes. We want to use these cool. We're not going to use them quite yet because we're going to start the base for our walnut pie. So these are just going to hang out here for a minute. What we're going to do is the creaming method. We're going to cream together sugar, butter, and salt in our stand mixer here again because I'm lazy and don't want to sit here with the hand mixer. We do have one. One show we will really use it, so you do believe that I have one. So we've got our 5.25 or 5 1/4 ounces of sugar by weight. Sugar. Try to make sure you don't have a lot of lumps in here because we want our filling of our pie to be as smooth as possible. So we went in with just a fork, broke that up a little bit. Room temperature butter. Our handy dandy spatula. You can see it's pretty moist. Every sweet thing you're gonna have is gonna have a little bit of salt in it. It just enhances the flavors. So a little bit under. Put the down. Paddle attachment, again, you can use your hand attachment if you want. This is a pie. We want this to be kind of dense. We don't want to put a lot of air in this, actually. It's the absolute opposite of a cake. Cake, we want to put lots and lots of air in. We want volume. It's great. It's got a nice feel. This is a kind of a custardy kind of pie, so we don't want a lot of air in this. So when we cream this, we're going to be on the lowest setting. All right, let's go in here and take a look here. This has been mixing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. Stir this down. Looks pretty good. This is a creaming method. It's nice and smooth. There's no lumps of butter by itself. You can actually smell the butter coming out of here. It's, it's good stuff. So we are, I think, pretty much ready to deal with our eggs. What's going to happen is all that sugar and the butter is going to absorb the eggs as we put those in there. So let's go put that there. Close this guy back up. All right, what I'm going to do is, it's going to be somewhere between 2 and 3 eggs. I've got extra large eggs. It's going to be closer to 3 regular eggs, but I'm going to crack these directly into something I can pour with. And 3. So now I'm just going to measure this straight out, right? No. I'm going to get in here with a whisk. I'm going to do this a little bit. Just mix this up because we need both egg white and egg yolk in here. All right, that's pretty good. So use your bowl over here, turn our scale on, zero it out. There we go. All right, and I believe we need 5.25 ounces. So I'm just gonna, what's gonna happen here, it's gonna try to get away from me, so I'm just gonna go slow. Again, I didn't point this out, but these are room temperature eggs as well. All right, low speed again. We don't want a lot of air in this. And I'm just going to slowly, over the course of a couple minutes here, as the egg gets blended in here, I'm going to pour it in, and I'm also going to scrape the bowl a little bit here and there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stir this a little bit. That's the issue with making one pie, one cake, one anything, is sometimes it doesn't cooperate real well as far as using a big mixer like this. So. And hopefully what you can see here is it's not real lumpy. That's why we made sure we creamed the butter, sugar, and salt first to get it all smoothed out. Back in. Make sure we get all our little bit of sugar off the paddle again. Give this a stir, and we are definitely not done. We have to put in our syrup. Now let's talk about syrup for a minute. We could be using corn syrup, we could be using maple syrup. It depends on what you want to do. A lot of commercial pies are going to use corn syrup. Nothing wrong with corn syrup, don't get freaked out. You know, oh, high fructose corn syrup, ah! No. That's what these kind of pies are made from. So since we're doing this homemade, we're doing it for Thanksgiving, we want this to be something a little bit special, we're going to use actually real maple syrup. If you're going to use syrup, maple syrup, make sure you look at the label. Don't get pancake syrup. Pancake syrup is not maple syrup. It's maple syrup flavored corn syrup. So it's probably going to work out okay. I haven't used that Mrs. You-know-who stuff myself for this, because it's got other stuff in it. It's just not, like this stuff that's corn syrup. So we're going to use real 100% Vermont maple syrup. No worries there. So let's go ahead and, again, see, this is nice and smooth. I don't have lumps of sugar in here. That's a very good thing. It's a good sign. So your butter, your eggs, take them out in the morning. Put them on the counter. Leave them alone. Walk away, as some people say. Because if they're cold, what happens is this stuff it doesn't blend well. So we're going to use, real syrup. I've actually got this already measured out. Getting syrup out of a glass container like this, spray it with a little bit of non-stick spray, whether you're using the corn syrup, maple syrup, whatever, it'll help get it out. So what I'm going to do is get that out of my way. I'm going to go ahead and dump in my syrup. Comes out real nice. Since I have my spatula here anyway, we'll go ahead and just get the last bit out. Smells like breakfast. Smells like maple syrup. All right, and we need one last thing. We need a little bit of vanilla. I have real pure 100% vanilla. Can you use imitation? Sure. Because we are going high end with this, we used good half walnuts. That we didn't use little pieces that might taste the same, but we're going high end, good ingredients. We've got, half walnuts that we toasted up. We've got real maple syrup. We've got real vanilla. And it's going to be just a little bit more than a teaspoon. Going to let this blend for a while. Again, low speed, just going to let it come together. All right, we are all set here. We're going to turn this off, which we already did. I'm really happy that this is nice and smooth. It's not grainy. That's what you get when you have your butter and your eggs absolutely room temperature. Tell you what, we're going to set this here. We have too much stuff in the way, so we're just going to move this over. Alrighty, so we're going to just get our little bit off of here. And you notice I turned it off, I pulled it off the mixer, and we're going to put our walnuts in now. If I just dump my walnuts in while this is still going, I'm going to have walnut flavored custard something or other, because it's going to just pulverize those walnuts. It's just like when you do cookies, like chocolate chip cookies or something. You just kind of stir those in, fold those in by hand. Got our nice walnuts. Get all our little crumbs in there. And just by hand, I'm just going to fold this together gently. Again, air is our enemy in this kind of pie, so we're just trying not to just get violent in here and stir this up. That's good. Just need to combine it. All right, what do I have here? This is a frozen pie crust. But this is high-end pie. Why do we have a frozen pie crust? Actually, frozen pie crusts at the grocery store have come a long way. I used to do these by hand. If I get really ambitious, we'll pound out, my wife and I will do assembly line. We'll do 6 or 8 pie crusts, not in tins like this, but we'll make the little hockey pucks, wrap them up, freeze them off, because then all through the year we don't have to worry about making pie crust. Figured, let's save some time, because holidays are for friends, for family. We don't want to spend 6 hours in the kitchen making this pie. So this I can take care of. Pulled it straight out of the freezer. We're just going to put it right in. And my wife loves me because I'm going to reuse this tray. Always want to bake a pie, especially anything with filling, on a tray because it can boil over. So I'll put this right on here. This is a 9-inch crust, by the way. And I'm just not going to dump this straight in. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't overflow. Looks a little light as far as filling here, but it should, as it cooks, it should come up a little bit in volume. Most things you cook come out bigger than when you put them in the oven. Smells amazing, smells phenomenal. Our word of today is phenomenal. Smells pretty good now, but once this gets actually cooks, comes out of the oven, it's going to be even better. Now, I'm taking advantage of the fact that we have a convection oven here, so I'm set for 400 degrees. The convection's where it's got the fan going on there. It's going to cook this a little bit faster. We're going to go 10 minutes at 400 degrees, and then we're actually going to turn it down because that high temperature, we want to set the crust, get the crust baked, and then we want to slowly cook this custard. So check us out on foodiegourmets.com for the recipes for regular oven and convection oven. Let's go ahead and get this in the oven. Carefully, carefully. Bueller, Bueller. Straight in, 400 degrees, convection, 10 minutes, and then we're gonna turn it down. Hey everybody, we are ready to pull our walnut pie out. We gave it, again, 10 minutes at one temperature, hot, get the crust set, turn it down, let the custard set. Let's take a look here. This is ready to come out because it's just started to get a crack on the edge of the custard. So if I had been watching this just a little bit closer, I would have pulled this out maybe 30 or 60 seconds earlier. This will kind of condense a little bit here. You can see how it's risen. It's a custard, so it does rise. Let me put this down so I don't burn myself. That would not be good. Still, it's a little bit, it's set, but it's not all jiggly. It's not like loose jello that's not set. This is done. I mean, we got a nice brown edge on the side here, on the crust. Custard set. This is going to cool off for an hour or two before we cut it. All right, we are about at the end of Thanksgiving Foodie Gourmets. We have our walnut pie. It's cooled off here. You can see it's a nice uniform color. Just a tiny little crack on the side here that I'm mad about. Again, 30 seconds too early instead of too late. It's a custard set. They continue to cook, but you know, it's not runny or anything like that. Don't have to worry about it. Before we take this over, or when we take it over, I should say, if you want to take some whipped cream with, you know, you've got your schmutz in a can. Not to be schmaltz. Schmaltz would be chicken fat. This is not chicken fat. That would be bad. Whipped cream. Or if you're like us, if you want to invest in some things for your kitchen other than just the $5 or $10 scale we were talking about, if you want to have one of these bad boys, if you make a lot of whipped cream, these run on nitrous oxide. So you can you buy just regular whipping cream, and you can add sugar, add amaretto, you can add whatever you want. You can make it a chocolate whipped cream, whatever you want to do. You just mix this up, put it in a bowl, whisk it together. You put it in one of these bad boys. You charge it with the nitrous, and it is way better for you. No preservatives, no funky chemicals, and what's great is the nitrous actually preserves this, so I can have, for the coffee in the morning or whatever we want, our pie, this can sit in the fridge for a couple of weeks, no issue whatsoever. Don't have to worry about it going bad. Thanksgiving, you know, that's a typical American kind of holiday. Well, it's definitely an American holiday, right? Turkey, you figure Pinot. So I have just a little bit of Pinot here, just to give you folks a toast. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Hope you enjoyed this today. Hope you try this out at home. Try it side by side with a pecan pie. Decide which one you like. We'll see you later. Cheers.